Like Terence Crawford, he's a very talented fighter, but he just win uh, one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter.
Fight for both of us, I believe.
Any doubt in your mind that you beat him?
Of course I beat him. It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody that I step in.
The highly anticipated showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is edging closer to reality. Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has intensified the buzz around the fight, and Crawford has wasted no time firing back at the Mexican star.
Fighter, like Errol Spence is. Yes. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look very.
This fight, which has been in negotiations for months, is shaping up to be one of the biggest in recent boxing history. Terence Crawford, a 4-division world champion, is aiming to make history by stepping up to the 168-pound division, a major challenge against one of the top pound-for-pound fighters in the sport. But the battle isn't just in the ring. The rivalry is already heating up. Crawford has kicked off the war of words with Canelo, setting the stage for a historic clash between two undisputed champions.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently, and it'd be a well-fought fight for both of us.
In a recent interview shared by journalist DY Boxing Man on X, Canelo Alvarez questioned Terence Crawford's resume, suggesting it doesn't stack up to that of a true champion. Look, I respect Terence Crawford. He's very talented, but he's only won one big fight. If you check his record, the only great fighter he has beaten is Errol Spence. Other than that, he hasn't faced top-level opponents like Spence, Canelo stated. It didn't take long for Crawford to fire back. Wasting no time, the American responded to Canelo's remarks on X, sending a strong warning to the Mexican champion.
Asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect.
So, out of all the fighters I've faced, only one was good? I'll remember that. Just don't forget what you said, because I've made plenty of fighters who were somebody look like nobody. With this sharp response, Terence Crawford didn't just answer Canelo's remarks, he escalated the tension. This fight is shaping up to be a must-watch, not only for what happens in the ring but also for the heated rivalry unfolding outside of it. As two of the best boxers in the world, their battle is already delivering fireworks.
A small fighter like Charlo, he's big, which he's big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford.
During his interview with a respected boxing platform, Canelo Alvarez continued discussing the potential fight. The 34-year-old confirmed he's open to facing Terence Crawford but admitted he doesn't expect to get much credit for it. I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I've always said that. No disrespect to him, but it's crazy how people talk about a smaller fighter like Charlo, who is actually big, and then push for me to fight Crawford, who comes from 147 and is even smaller than Charlo. It doesn't make sense, but that's what people are saying right now. At the end of the day, if I take this fight, I won't get any credit. But you never know. Anything can happen in boxing. I move up and down in weight and fight the best, so why not? It's possible.
Fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that.
This echoed comments Canelo made in a previous interview, where he stated, "I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, Crawford is a great fighter, but in my weight class, it's an easy fight for me. Easy money. If the money is right, I'm in." The thing is, I don't really like fighting guys like Crawford because he moves a lot, and that doesn't make for a great fight. But in his last fight, I noticed he doesn't move as much anymore. So yeah, if the money is right, I'll take it. The fight, which has been in the works for months, would be for Canelo's 168-pound title, meaning Crawford would have to jump up 2 weight classes in one go, a significant challenge. Despite this, Crawford has made it clear he believes he has what it takes to compete. As part of the ongoing negotiations, both fighters are expected to have a tune-up bout before stepping into the ring against each other.
He's an undisputed champion.
Well, I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight. because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer.
Just days ago, Canelo confirmed that he has secured the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for September 13th, marking his second fight of the year. Meanwhile, Bob Arum, who promoted several of Terence Crawford's fights before they split in 2021, believes Crawford's ability to switch stances could present problems for Canelo, despite the significant size difference. The 37-year-old Crawford will be moving up 2 weight classes, but Arum isn't ruling him out. "I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight," Arum told FightHype.com. "He has a unique talent. He's a great fighter.
And he is totally ambidextrous. So he drives his opponent crazy because the opponent trains to fight a right-handed fighter and ends up fighting a southpaw."
Arum elaborated on why Crawford is so dangerous, highlighting his ability to switch stances mid-fight. "He drives his opponents crazy because they train for a right-handed fighter but end up facing a southpaw. That's exactly what happened to Errol Spence. He prepared for an orthodox fighter, but all he saw in the ring was a southpaw." Arum believes Crawford is aiming for a moment similar to Manny Pacquiao's legendary win over Oscar de la Hoya. Canelo had previously downplayed the idea of facing the 37-year-old Crawford. However, his stance shifted after both fighters held positive discussions with Saudi Arabian boxing chief Turki Alashik in London earlier this month. So far in 2024, Canelo has secured 2 wins, defending his undisputed titles with decision victories over Jamie Munguia and Edgar Berlanga. Meanwhile, Crawford became a 4-division world champion after claiming the WBA super welterweight title with a points victory over Israel Madrimov.
And that's what happened to what's his name?
Errol?
Errol,
Yeah.
Errol, yeah.
Errol Spence.
Spence.
It remains unclear whether Canelo, a 4-division world champion, will fight on his usual Cinco de Mayo date in May, with IBF champion William Skull a potential opponent should he decide to have a bout before facing Crawford. A victory would help Canelo reclaim his undisputed super middleweight title. The much-anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford continues to capture the attention of boxing fans worldwide. While the fight hasn't been officially confirmed yet, the possibility of these 2 pound-for-pound giants facing off has everyone talking. Canelo's last fight was in September, where he defended his unified super middleweight titles against Edgar Berlanga, while Crawford recently moved up to 154 pounds and claimed the WBA super welterweight title with a win over Israel Madrimov.
Loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
We shall see, you know. Who knows?
The fight between Canelo and Crawford was first speculated after Crawford dethroned WBA light middleweight champion Israel Madrimov last August, adding the 154 pounds title to the 3 other weight divisions he's already conquered. Shortly after Crawford's victory over Madrimov, Canelo made another successful defense of his WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles, securing yet another dominant win in a division he has ruled since 2021.
The fruits of my labor.
And you absolutely deserve it. As I said, you're a pound-for-pound king. If it isn't Canelo next year, are you done from the sport, Terence?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Right now, I'm just weighing out my options and looking for the best opportunities and options for Terence Crawford.
As both fighters prepare for what could be the biggest showdown of their careers, the 39-year-old 2-time undisputed champion Crawford has already sent a message of warning. Speaking on social media, Crawford vowed to shock the world and claim victory over the Mexican superstar when they finally face off. "I'm going to shock the world, watch. The best is yet to come. I've had it in my back pocket this whole time," Crawford said.
My career.
Absolutely. Last one on him, I promise. If that fight is made, how does it go with you and Canelo? How does it play out?
Well, that's why you watch it and see.
Crawford is confident heading into the fight, but moving up 2 weight classes to face the 34-year-old Canelo is a monumental challenge. Canelo has proven his dominance in the super middleweight division, taking down top fighters such as Gennady Golovkin, Caleb Plant, and Jermall Charlo. Despite the significant weight difference between the two, the excitement surrounding this potential super fight remains high, with fans buzzing about the prospect of these 2 elite boxers facing off.
You know, that's what everybody want to see us fight for, because everybody got answers that need to be answered. You know, and the only way they can be answered is
Amir Khan, the only boxer to have faced both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, shared his unique perspective on this potential showdown during an interview with Box Nation. Khan, who fought Canelo at a catch weight of 155 pounds, acknowledged the significant weight advantage Canelo would have. Canelo is a beast, man. I've fought both of those guys, and I feel that size always wins. There's a reason for weight divisions, Khan explained. Terence is special, don't get me wrong, but when he's getting hit by a guy like Canelo, Khan's comments highlight the challenge Crawford would face against the powerful Canelo, who is the reigning WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight champion. Canelo showed his power again in his recent fight with Edgar Berlanga, landing a heavy punch during the second round of their title fight at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on September 14, 2024.
Crawford, and I think Canelo is a beast at that weight. Honestly, I would advise
Khan, who suffered a sixth-round stoppage loss to Canelo, highlighted the physical challenge of facing the Mexican superstar. What a fight that would be, though. I'll root for my boy Terence and want him to win, but it would be tough, Khan said. Does he need that fight? No, I don't think he does. He's done so well in his career and beaten everyone. He's untouchable, one of the best out there pound for pound. But if it's a big payday, I understand why it would happen. Why take a risky fight for less money when he can take a seriously hard fight for serious money? Despite the potential risks, Khan praised Crawford's skill, noting that he has the ability to compete at the highest level. However, he also stressed the dangers of such a matchup, adding, "We never want to see fighters get hurt."
Versus Jamel Charlo playing out.
I think Canelo just outboxes. Well, no, doesn't outbox him, but I think just outpowers him and beats him to the punch. And you do give Canelo does have some sort of like decent speed.
Amid growing speculation, Canelo Alvarez addressed the rumors with a brief but intriguing response. "I'm open to talk." While his forward message leaves room for interpretation, it has only increased the excitement among boxing fans, suggesting that this mega fight might be closer to reality when the two face off in September. Shakur Stevenson, the WBC lightweight champion, believes Terence Crawford will defeat Canelo Alvarez and make it an easy fight. Stevenson, who has been vocal about his prediction for years, continues to back Crawford in the matchup, claiming that Crawford will come out on top against Canelo.
Canelo and obviously your good friend, mentor, Terence Crawford. A lot of people a few years ago would have said that's crazy, but I think everybody, when they see the talent of Terence Crawford...
Crawford, the WBA champion in the 154 pounds light middleweight division, has committed to putting on 14 pounds to compete in the highly anticipated bout, which could be the highest payday of his career. When asked if he believes Crawford will win the fight, Shakur Stevenson was confident in his response. "I've been saying this for years now. I'm probably the first one that's been saying this, even before Terence was saying it. I always thought Crawford's style beats Canelo," Stevenson told TalkSport Boxing. Stevenson suggests that Crawford will stand toe-to-toe with Canelo in September, but that scenario seems unlikely considering Crawford's usual approach against powerful punchers. He typically uses a more tactical strategy rather than engaging in a slugfest.
He's a special fighter, pound for pound. I think many will say #1 in the world, alongside the likes of people like yourself and that great list that we've got at the minute. Is he the man to beat Canelo?
Crawford typically relies on movement, using his jab and quickly landing shots before repositioning himself. He doesn't stay stationary or engage in relentless attacks. His aggressive performance against Errol Spence was more of an exception, largely because Spence wasn't at his best after his car accident. You've got to be very careful if you're going to take a fight above 160 pounds because it's a new weight range, said Chris Mannix on his YouTube channel regarding Crawford potentially taking a tune-up fight. However, it seems unlikely that Crawford will risk a tune-up fight against a super middleweight before facing Canelo Alvarez in September, as he likely prefers to go into the fight prepared and focused.
Yes, honestly, if anybody could jump up in weight classes and do it, it's Terence Crawford. I don't know nobody who is mentally as strong as Terence Crawford.
If Crawford moves up to the super middleweight division, it will likely be at a catch weight of around 163 or 164 pounds, facing a middleweight moving up, Possible opponents could include Aaron McKenna, Liam Smith, Austin Williams, or Kyrone Davis, fighters who pose little challenge to Crawford and are ranked lower in the middleweight division. The long-awaited clash between Canelo Alvarez and Crawford has been brewing for years. After his impressive knockout of Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023, Crawford called for a showdown with Canelo, the two-time undisputed champion. Crawford hoped to move up 3 weight classes for more titles. However, Canelo had other plans, turning down the fight and instead securing dominant wins over Jamie Munguia and Edgar Berlanga.
Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March.
Terence Crawford moved up to light middleweight last August, securing a decision victory over Israel Madrimov to earn the WBA and WBO titles. Following that win, there was once again talk of a potential showdown with Canelo Alvarez. However, it seems that the fight may finally become a reality. While neither Canelo Alvarez nor Terence Crawford have commented on the recent reports, the signs are there. Earlier this week, both boxers were seen meeting with Saudi boxing promoter Turki Al-Sheikh, fueling speculation that the long-awaited clash could soon be official.
Each other, we don't talk that much for make a deal and anything, but you know, we now know each other and we'll see what happens.
Turki Al-Sheikh, the Saudi boxing executive, has been instrumental in arranging major bouts like Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk and Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol in recent months. Al-Sheikh has long advocated for a fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, and has made it clear he's willing to finance the bout. This, combined with recent reports and comments from Crawford, suggests the fight is likely in the works. Earlier today, Crawford took to X and vowed to shock the world. However, beating Canelo Alvarez will be a tough challenge for the 37-year-old Crawford, as the Mexican superstar is a formidable opponent.
The chances of a fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford have, quote, greatly increased.
Terence Crawford is undoubtedly an all-time great, but to face the Mexican star, he would have to move up 2 weight classes. That said, if anyone could defy the odds, it would likely be Bud. Renowned boxing journalist Julius Giuliani Slater shared another positive update, mentioning that a September date for the fight is being considered. While nothing has been officially confirmed, fans and experts are already speculating and making predictions. Crawford has seen and heard enough to confidently enter the conversation. The former 3-division ring champion and reigning WBA 154 pounds titleist, Terence Crawford, is finally within reach of his dream fight with Canelo Alvarez. Multiple sources have informed the ring that extraordinary efforts are being made to make this fight happen later this year. ESPN Deportes Julius Giuliani suggested that a deal may already be in place, while other sources have hinted that the fight could take place as soon as May, though such plans seem ambitious. Alvarez, who was in London for the inaugural Ring Award ceremony, made it a point to meet with Turki Al-Sheikh, the driving force behind Riyadh Season and the new owner of the ring. Al-Sheikh and his team presented this weekend's ceremony while also meeting with boxing royalty, including Canelo Alvarez, to discuss major business opportunities for 2025. When Crawford heard his name mentioned, he quickly rearranged his weekend plans. "I'm like a genie when you rub his lamp," Crawford said, posting a picture outside London's Heathrow Airport on Sunday. "Once you call upon me, I appear to grant you one wish because I'm a free genie, not one in cuffs." Al-Sheikh met with Crawford on Sunday, just one day after having productive talks with Alvarez about general business for the year ahead.
Oh, well, it ain't really no message, it's all respect over here, and if, he do decide.
Canelo Alvarez is still working on plans for a targeted May return to defend his ring, World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and World Boxing Organization Super Middleweight Championships. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford, who moved up to junior middleweight in 2024, would move up another 2 weight divisions for what he has repeatedly called a legacy fight. Crawford hasn't fought since his unanimous decision victory over Israel Madrimov on August 3rd to win the World Boxing Association and Interim World Boxing Organization junior middleweight titles. That fight headlined Riyadh Season's U.S. launch at Insert Stadium, in Los Angeles, California. Alil Sheikh had always been eager to deliver the Alvarez-Crawford showdown, but briefly paused those plans when Alvarez initially showed no interest in the fight.
To come my way and me and him get in the ring, then it'll be an electrifying fight, you know.
Canelo Alvarez instead proceeded with a championship defense against Edgar Berlanga, whom he outpointed over 12 rounds last September in Las Vegas. Neither Alvarez nor Crawford has fought since then. It remains unclear and somewhat doubtful whether Crawford will take a fight before the anticipated showdown with Alvarez. However, these plans could change quickly. Alvarez's recent presence in London 2 weekends ago served as proof of his active plans for 2025, where several potential rivals could emerge, and the Mexican star might surprise fans with unexpected matchups.
Important is it that you've spoke with Turki Al Sheikh?
Say again, please.
How important for you is it that you've spoke to Turki Al Sheikh, and what did you speak about?
Look, I like to work with everybody.
Canelo Alvarez traveled to London to receive the prestigious Fighter of the Year award from Ring magazine, where he met with Saudi boxing promoter Turki Al Sheikh. During an interview with the host, Canelo acknowledged the possibility of facing Terence Crawford, stating, "There is always a possibility. We'll see, but there's always a possibility. We're here to do the best business." His comments sparked further speculation about a potential matchup between the two champions, though nothing has been officially confirmed yet.
To work with everybody, you know, I'm a free agent and I like to work with everybody, and you know, I like to have the doors open.
Eddie Hearn expressed his doubts about the potential Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford fight, stating that he would be very surprised if it happens. Hearn, recalling a conversation he had with Canelo, mentioned that it didn't seem like the Mexican star was eager to take on Crawford. He acknowledged that Saudi promoter Turki Al Sheikh has been pushing for the bout, but Hearn suggested that Canelo might be reluctant to accept the challenge.
All the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
Hearn also mentioned that Canelo's feeling is that if he beats Crawford, people will only acknowledge that he defeated a 154 pounds fighter, which could diminish the significance of the win. As the boxing world eagerly watches this potential matchup unfold, stay tuned for more updates and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the latest and best boxing content. Until next time, peace out.